is Rach, and welcome to a very special Sims 4 cast video. So I know normally on Saturdays I post a 100 Baby Challenge episode, but I posted my 100 Baby Challenge episode this week yesterday because I wanted to make sure we got it out, and I already knew that I wanted to post this video today because I thought it would be better timed if I posted today. And yeah, we're basically just, you might already see what we're doing here, but we're basically going to be making, Charles in The Sims, and if you don't know, we're going to be making, the newly coronated King of England, and I do want to just have a little disclaimer real quick. I do obviously know that there is going to be some slight controversy probably with me making the new, monarch, what with all of the stuff that's been going on lately, but I don't really have an opinion one way or the other about most of the stuff that's been going on, and that's not really what my channel's here for. I'm not talking politics or should we or should we not have a monarchy going on in modern day times. I don't really care. I'm just here to play Sims, and I thought it would be fun to try to make a real life person, and I hardly ever make elders. I hardly ever play with them. So I thought, you know what, this is fun. He's an old guy. I can make him in The Sims. It was not fun. It was actually quite stressful. I didn't realize how hard it was going to be to make an elder Sim until I was getting into it, and then I was like, why doesn't this look like him at all? I spent such a long time trying to make this Sim and make it look right, editing the eyes, the nose. Surprisingly, the hair was actually not as hard as you'd think, because I kind of just gave up on it quickly on into the work of making this Sim. I kind of just gave up on getting the hair exactly perfect because I couldn't find a CC hair that I really liked. So I was looking through the ones that are already in game, and as you guys might know, we are a little bit deficient in masculine assets for The Sims 4. So I was sitting there and I'm scrolling through all these hairs, and they're all ridiculously thick hair. It's not even just kind of thin hair or medium thickness. It's all really thick hair. The people, I don't know what's going on with these hairs, but if you have this kind of hair IRL, you're treating your hair right, you know what I mean? You're conditioning it, you're making sure you really take good care of it. You have great hair care if you have this thick and luscious and voluminous of hair. And it's really impossible to find a good natural kind of thin wispy looking hair with that in mind. And yeah, for this particular Sim, obviously, if you've ever seen Charles before, the hair, it's gonna be really hard to find a mimic of that in Sims, especially when you don't have any alpha hairs that look like it, which for some reason I thought I had a CC hair, but I guess I didn't, because I don't really make a lot of male Sims. I'm gonna be completely honest here. I make a lot of female Sims, and then sort of as I'm playing with a female Sim, if I need to make a male Sim, I will. But like I said, I never make elders, and I don't make a whole lot of male Sims as a whole, and so I don't download a lot of CC for them. I'm gonna be honest, I don't have a lot of CC for them. I actually had to go on a CC downloading spree to get a few of his looks, which, speaking of, we are a good portion into the time lapse, because obviously I sped up the horrendous process of me making this Sim. And I'm just gonna warn you guys straight up, some of these looks are not normally when I do things for celebrities and stuff, it's looks that they've worn before, but obviously King Charles hasn't really worn an athletic wear or a party quote unquote wear, the way that The Sims determines those looks. So for some of the looks, I just kind of was this is the vibe I'm going for. So for I think the athletic wear, I put him in like this kind of like, it looks like basically like a really rich like golfing kind of like shirt, like it looks like a golf club shirt, and that's like really the only way I know how to describe it. And I really went for like the kind of like, just like the vibe, the general vibe and like color palette basically, because there were just some looks I couldn't put him in a suit for, and he practically always wears a suit. So it was really hard because like I was like, what do I put him in for like sleepwear? So I just went with this fluffy robe from like Cottage Living that looks like it would be something that like an old guy might like. Because again, I do not make old Sims. Like, it's just like having an elder in my household is stressful because I'm always worrying about like, oh, are they gonna die? Do I need to be worried about how sad my Sims are gonna be for days after? So like I don't even like play with them. So it's like I certainly don't make them and cast specifically to be elder Sims. So I'm just like sitting here like, what do I even like put him in? And then, you add to the fact that, like, I'm basing this off of, like, a real life person that I only ever see in, like, a certain very, like, formal setting. Like, the most casual this man gets is not wearing a tie. Like, I'm like, Sims, what do you expect me to do for, like, hot weather wear, Like, they don't even accept anything over quarter length sleeves for hot weather wear. And I'm like, have I ever actually seen Charles in short sleeves? Like, I don't think I have. And so I'm like, I don't know what to put him in for that. Like, what? I only have, like, a basic color palette at this point. Like, I'm just kind of sitting here like, well, I guess I'm going off the rails. And I will admit, for the swimwear, I did put him in the, like, only full body, and when I say full body, I mean, like, it's literally... well, you'll see it at the end, but, like, it's literally a, like, it's kind of like a long sleeve, like, almost like what I imagine, like, someone who's learning how to swim would wear, or, like, in the Hunger Games in Catching Fire, when they had those, like, helping you to, like, float in the water suits on for, like, the second arena. It's sort of like that, only it's like meant to look like a fake suit, and I thought that was kind of funny since he wears suits like literally all the time. I thought that was a little bit funny, and it has like a little like fake painted on bow tie, and yeah, and then also I did cut out like a big portion. Well, I didn't really cut it out. I stopped recording at a certain point because I paused it and kind of like, I do this thing when I'm making celebrity sims, or when I am making like a sim based off of like a book character or something. I like pause and like look at my reference image, whether that's like a fan art of what the book character should have looked like, or like it's a picture from like a movie or like a television series. I'm like looking at this picture and I have it like kind of side by side with my sim. And I did that for Charles, and I was like, why does he look like not like Charles? Like, you would think this would be easier to do. And I'd already spent, like, a while working on this sim. Like, maybe, I don't know, 40 minutes at this point. Just on, like, the facial features. Like, I hadn't even done any of his looks yet. So I was already looking at this project being, like, 2 hours just for making the sim. And I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. And so I'm sat here, like, looking at it, and I'm like, should I just, like, take a break and, like, come back? So I took, like, a 10-minute break to go, like, mess with my dog, kind of clear my head. And I come back, and I'm like, I think I need a second opinion. So I sent some, like, screenshots of the sim and, like, some pictures to my mom, because she doesn't play Sims. So I knew she wouldn't, like, have, like, a Sims kind of, like, viewpoint of, like, oh, tweak this and tweak that. But I knew she would have, like, a realistic approach of like, oh, that looks a little bit weird in this area. So I messaged her and I was like, hey, does anything look weird about the sim, like, versus this picture? Because I had like one referenced image in specific that I was working with, and she was like, and she gave me like a few tips, and I was like, okay. And so then when I was doing those, I was like, I bet I could, like, change this and this. And I didn't even bother recording that bit because, honestly, that next, like, just going over and, like, editing a few details about his face and stuff, that took me another additional like 40 minutes. Like, this took me like an hour and a half just to make his face look even halfway similar. So by no means is this perfect. Like, it was a really long process. I'm honestly surprised I was able to edit down into like a concise video that wasn't like 5 hours long because it took me forever and it felt like it took forever. But yeah, I finally got him to where he was looking okay. I was like confronted with like, okay, let's make the looks look okay, and I was like really not sure how I was going to do some of these looks like I mentioned before. But like I was able to kind of pull something together for each of them, and I think you guys will think that they're cute. So we are almost to the end of the time lapse now. Also for his traits, I just went with the Monarch trait, which is from the Royalty mod, which I did have to install specifically for making this sim. And basically all the Monarch trait does is in-game, if you have like the Royalty mod, then he's like, obviously set to be the Monarch. And then also, I gave him the Outgoing trait because I felt like, that probably fits. Like, that'll make him similar of a social person, And then I gave him the Loves the Outdoors traits because I know that Charles is, like, kind of into environmental stuff. And then also I've seen quite a few pictures when I was looking for a good reference image. I saw quite a few pictures of him, like, doing, like, outdoor activities. So it seemed like he really liked that. So I was like, okay, I'll go with that. And then I did Friend of the World because there wasn't actually like a royal aspiration. I thought there would be. But the only royal aspiration that came with the mod that I got was like the missing royal one. So I was like, okay, I can't use that. But like I went with Friend of the World because I was like, well, that probably is kind of like similar. And yeah, that's basically how I came up with the traits and the looks and everything, and that's like my behind the scenes intake. So if you guys have enjoyed so far, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe, and I think we'll go ahead and jump in to looking at his looks in real time so you guys get a better chance to look at that, because I don't think I included in the time lapse me making some of the looks just because I did have to do some of those off camera as well because, yeah, the sim, like I said, it took me forever. So let's stop rambling and I will go ahead and jump in game so I can show you guys the looks. Alright, so this is his first everyday look. It's just like a basic suit. This is what he looks like close up. I wish I could have done like the hair differently, and in an ideal world, Sims wouldn't have you limited to a couple skin details, so I would have done more with that as well. But, I did have limits, so I did the best I could. This is his first formal wear look. I really like the look of it. It looks quite real. That alpha texture do be helping. And then I did a few other looks that look a little bit more like, I think they're like more Tudorish style. But, like, we're going to ignore that because they're supposed to look, monarchy-ish. Like, they're supposed to look majestic. So, just ignore the fact that, like, it may be giving slightly older than, 21st century. So I did have to download a couple CC crowns for this. So, I did splurge a bit on the crownage. And then we've got, your big fantastical robe, and yeah, the coordinating outfit that worked with it. And then we've got, this more like average, I guess, looking suit thing with like another crown that I got. And I did use one of my other CC things that I downloaded specifically for this, which was like just like a little scepter and like a little ball thing that they hold. And yeah, that's basically all of his formal wear looks. This is the athletic wear I was talking about earlier with like the kind of like fancy looking like polo. And then this is the sleepwear, and yes, I did include my favorite CC dog slippers because I love them. This is his like party wear, quote unquote. It's like a gray suit with a pink tie, and yeah, that's that. This is the funny swimwear I was talking about, so yeah, just ignore that look. this is the hot weather wear look. I don't know. I was just going for like the same vibes as like the athletic wear, but like I didn't know what to do for the top, so just kind of ignored this look. I like the cold weather wear though. That's pretty cute. I did think this was pretty cute. But yeah, that's all of his looks. So that is this cast video done. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. If there's someone else you want to see done, like anyone, like a book character, movie character, celebrity, video game character even, go ahead and leave a comment of that. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!